Our next question comes from Miguel Uceda with Sports.es.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Hey, good, Miguel.
First of all, congratulations for this amazing NXT TakeOver card that we all are loving it. So my first question is, the first episodes of NXT UK have been filmed already. When will the first episodes of the brand be broadcast? And what would be the position of the show in the weekly WWE programming?
Yeah, so we'll be making some announcements in the coming weeks surrounding NXT UK. I can't really say anything in this moment because we're still going through the options, but there'll be some announcements in the coming weeks about where it will be and how everybody can see it. You know, we've started to shoot the first episodes just because it was there and I didn't want to wait, and I wanted to make sure that the fan base in the UK knew that we were serious and we were coming in, and you know, I can tell you this, that they are really good. The talent, the episodes that we have, the product that you're going to see will be worth the wait. And once we have that all ironed out, it's just, you know, when you're a global brand the size we are, sometimes these things take a little bit longer than you anticipate. So as soon as I know for sure, I'll let everybody know, and I promise you it'll be worth the wait.
In the past, we saw how an international star who belonged to another company, like Yushin Sandolager, participating in an NXT TakeOver match. In some point, would you consider again the possibility of bringing New Japan Pro Wrestling stars for one night only in an NXT special?
Yeah, look, I am of the opinion that talent are talent, and if we can use them in a meaningful way, and they're free to be able to work with us, either want to come in and work with us contractually or in a different way, I'm open to it. I'm always open to that. Whether we can make that work or not, work out or not, is a different conversation, but always open. Always open to great talent coming in. To me, it's all about the fans and giving them what you want, or what they want, and want to see. So if we can give them something spectacular, I'm always for that.
Okay, Paul, thank you so much, and can't wait for the show on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Our next question comes from Dave Metzler with WrestlingObserver.com.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey, Dave Metzler.
I guess this is kind of theoretical, but I keep looking, down the line a couple of years, and I just sense with the amount of talent that's being groomed all over wrestling, and that you guys are also training yourselves, that there's going to be room for, and you kind of mentioned it, having to squeeze all these guys in 1 hour, and there's obviously positives about having a 1 hour show. As one of the callers even said, it's easy to watch, you don't get bored, that type of thing. You never feel it's too much. But what about a couple of years down the line, especially with Fox still, FS1's going to need a lot of programming with UFC being gone, the idea of 2 1 hour shows that you would weekly, or, not, like, let's say maybe, like, you do 4 hours of taping instead of every 4 weeks, do it every other week, do, a show for broadcast TV, a show for the WWE Network, that type of situation, because you're going to have so much talent that, 2 hours when they're split into 1 hour shows, that's still not overexposing the product, I don't think.
Dave, I feel like you're setting me up for a payday off of a nifty idea that I use or something there. No, look, there's a lot of, in that scenario, there's a lot of speculation, right? And even things that I go, yeah, look, I could see that there's a lot of TV channels out there and distribution platforms that I go, well, they all need content, but they should all call me. It really comes down to who wants what, when. I know we say it a lot, but we're open for business and never say never. So, like, I just kind of always look at it with fresh eyes. The show, or try to anyways, the show is an hour. Great. It's a great length. It's, are there weeks where I wish it was a little longer? Absolutely. Are there weeks where I'm really happy it was 1 hour? Absolutely. I think it just comes on to where the right fit is just kind of going on your guts, right? Like, so look, we have a lot of talent, we have some time, we have the ability to shoot this, and as technology changes, those costs of shooting come down, hopefully, and you're changing how you do things. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I don't ever want to just look at any of our programming, just this is me personally just speaking, and say, well, this is just how we do it. This show is this long, this show is this long, and it sits here. This show is that, and it sits here. Like, it should constantly ebb and flow and change a little bit, morph with the times, and all those things. So I think as we move forward, once, like as you asked about Fox, once we get into the Fox deal, certainly as we begin to get closer to October of next year, we'll be all beginning to have conversations, and we'll see what those conversations bring up. We'll see where it should be, how long it should be, all those things, but everything is on the table.
And sort of follow up on that. As far as like production and everything like that, because you're going to be going, instead of on a Monday, Tuesday, which is kind of an easy, I don't want to say easy because nothing's easy, but the Monday, Tuesday schedule and sometimes Sunday for shooting TV every week. And you're going to a Monday, Friday, and NXT might be a Wednesday or a Thursday. With that, when I'm talking about an idea of shooting every other week as opposed to once a month, does that factor into it as well, that now instead of one trip and a drive on Tuesday to the next town when you're doing TV, you're going to be Monday, fly home, Wednesday, fly home, Friday. It's like, on your own thing when you need to train and work, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks for pointing out all the problems we have upcoming, by the way, also. Thank you.
Well, the problem.
This is the logistic nightmare. All the wonderful things, and Vince will say here, they're all wonderful opportunities. And they are, and it's the truth is, yeah, we're changing the way the shows come out, right? So there's a Monday, Friday, that changes everything. It really does. It changes trucks, it changes routing, it changes, the 21 trucks that go to TV every week. Where do they go? How do they get to the next place? What is the routing differences of all? It changes everything. So we are in the process right now look, once we knew that deal with Fox was a done deal, and here we are. Okay, now we got a lot of planning to do. We're not just sitting around waiting for next October to come. We have a lot of planning to do, and a lot of planning that it's dominoes. You move one piece, and all the other pieces shift. So it will, in some ways, fundamentally change a lot of our business, and we have to really deeply look at that. But that's a wonderful opportunity, as we talked about earlier, to say, hey, how do we reinvent ourselves? How do we reinvigorate ourselves? How do we, we've always done this because of the Monday, Tuesday situation or whatever that is, but now we have an opportunity to do something different. There'll be some huge positives to that. There'll be some things that are tough to get past, but it's every now and then you get this opportunity to go, all right, like, let's just start with a blank canvas and see what we come up with, and that's kind of where we're at, and it's really cool.
Just one real quick thing also. Did you have any kind of update as far as like time off and the injuries of Tegan Nox and Aleister Black?
So I don't necessarily on Aleister. I think it's a little bit of a time thing right now, and then I think that'll also depend on one injury to how do we want to play out the whodunit, so to speak, part of creative storyline. So that'll be a little bit of the equation there. Tegan, geez. The poor girl. I mean, when Mae Young last year and the injury, she had the ACL injury, and just so happy for her. Right, she makes the full recovery, go to come back, and everything is going great. And I mean, without getting into every single decision of the booking, it was in probably the most heartbreaking manner it could have happened. And I don't recall. I'm sorry if you were there then, but for the people that were there, I mean, and you'll see it on TV, but it was dead silent in that place. It was a really unique thing. Like when she got hurt, it just shut everything down, and I feel like everybody could just feel her heartbreak. And there was like a moment where it was the roar of the crowd, and then it was deafeningly silent, and you could just hear her in the ring sobbing. But it's a tough thing. But I will say this. I spoke to her right after. Obviously, she was devastated, and I called her day ago just to see where her head was at, and she is as positive as could be, and is just like, look, I told her that night bump in the road. She agreed, said it back to me, and just said, now I'm just focused on coming back. I wish it didn't happen. It sucks, but here we go, and I'll be back better than ever. So that's the attitude you need. Is it something she's going to be out for a while for? Absolutely. She's got a big road ahead of her. But she'll use it wisely like she did the first time, and she'll come back